Hello everyone, this is Running on Empty Food Review. Or is it? This may seem a bit odd, ladies and gentlemen, but I said food review. Maybe I'm just messing with you. Maybe Review Bros is messing with everyone this time around. But this is an interesting product that we're reviewing, in so much that it's a liquid, yet we're still calling it a food. Now you may be saying, Review Bro, what are you talking about? I thought you were saying in the other reviews that it can't be a food if it's a liquid. But ladies and gentlemen, we're crossing a very interesting boundary here that'll lead us with some interesting products. And this brings us to this product which is called Soylent 2.0. Now Soylent 2.0 is, they say, it's a nutritionally complete meal in liquid form. It's actually, we have several bottles of it here. It's not a protein shake, it's not like a pre-workout. It's actually around a 400 calorie complete meal in liquid form. It's on the go. It comes in these bottles here, so you can just be out and about. You can just crack it open. You can drink it because it's on the go product. Comes in liquid form, which is what we're reviewing, which is pre-packaged in these bottles. It also comes in a powder form. That's the original Soylent. Soylent 2.0 is what we're reviewing today, and that's this newer pre-packaged liquid forms. It's as though they already mixed the powder together, bottled it, and then they'll send it off to you. And price-wise, we'll discuss it later on in the review. But I think it's a very interesting concept, honestly. It's the first of its kind that I've ever done a review of, and I think it's very interesting. Sometimes you'll hear about, liquid meals, and it may be interesting to think about. You may be saying, well, I wonder what that tastes like. I wonder how it actually is. I wonder if it'll actually be as satisfying and fulfilling as an actual meal. And I've wondered those exact same questions myself. I honestly have. And, now today I'll be able to try it out. I'll be able to, see how it is and see exactly how it works. Again, it comes in these handy little to-go bottles. You can just, crack it open and conveniently drink it. So what we're going to do is we're going to pour it out in this glass here, a wine glass, and we'll just see how it looks and then how it tastes. So pouring it in, it's got a very interesting, almost very smooth texture. Best way to describe it. We'll pour it up like that, and to avoid disaster, we'll cover it up. Put the little bottle right there. There you go. So here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's got looking at it, of course it's very thick in color. Has almost like an off-white kind of color. That's the best way to describe it. Not quite like milk, but it's got an off-white kind of color to it. Off-white kind of color. Smells as though it's pretty much like your standard protein shake. To give a good example of how it smells, to kind of give you that envisionment. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to take a few sips. We're going to let you know what it tastes like, how it tastes like, and then we'll get to pricing, and we'll take it from there. So Soylent 2.0 going in. It's interesting. Very, normally I take a few more sips before making an exclamation, but when it's something that's really stands out to me, I'll say it immediately. What I really notice about this one is already just the thickness of it. A lot of the drinks that I've reviewed are real, watered down, watery. This is a very thick liquid, you'll notice. We'll take one more sip, ladies and gentlemen. Hope I don't have like a milk mustache, but if I do, we'll just roll with it, and that'll be that. It's interesting. I think it's very interesting in terms of both the texture, the consistency, and even the taste itself. I think it is a very interesting drink in that regard. When I took the first sip of it, and this is the most striking thing you're going to notice about it, and the first thing I noticed about it, when I took the first sip of it, this drink was very thick, yet it also had a certain type of smoothness as well. And I think when you're drinking a liquid that has that thicker type of consistency, I mean, it is a very thick consistency liquid, the first thing you're going to notice is, well, is it thick and chunky, or is it, real smooth in terms of how it flows down? What is it going to be in that regard? Is it going to be, you're going to notice clumps of stuff in it? Is it going to be, is that going to be an issue? Or is it just going to go down real smooth? And this really has that smoothness to it as well. It's very thick and almost seems, contradictory to say it has a smoothness as well, but it does. It has almost a, to even describe it as so, almost a silky smooth type of texture that you take a sip and it really goes down very easily and has a very smooth flow of the liquid itself. Now, a good example of what it tastes like, and this really just came to me as I was taking a sip at it, and I think this is the best way to describe it. A lot of times with drinks, I'll say, well, there's a little sweetness that comes in here and a little bit of a, etc. Some drinks have a flavor of their own, but this one, what I really notice is it's really a combination of like two flavors that come in. If you could take for a moment the flavor of almond milk and the flavor of like a soy milk almost, combine the two together and then add a little bit of a vanilla-iness to it all, right? You get that little bit of a vanilla, it's almost like aftertaste, and you just take a sip of it. You get the flavor of the almond milk, flavor of like the soy milk, very smooth liquid that just goes down very easily for the thickness of it, and then you get a little bit of a vanilla-y aftertaste. And looking at it and how thick it was, I am pleasantly surprised at how it is. I really am, especially given that nice little vanilla aftertaste. I was not expecting that, and I think that's a nice little thing to kind of have there. A nice little vanilla aftertaste to kind of add a little pleasant flavor to it all. But I am impressed with how it tastes. I'm impressed with the concept of it. I think is very interesting. How it's actually a meal. I have their website up here. And you can see it's got 400 calories, 25 micronutrients, 0 grams trans fat, 0 grams cholesterol, 2 grams saturated fat, 300 milligrams sodium, 3 grams of fiber. And I think that's very interesting. How it is really, it has a lot of these nutrients, has 400 calories to it. So it really is, for the most part, just a convenient little, on-the-go type of drinkable meal that actually does have a pleasant flavor to it. I just took a few sips of it. I could easily take a few more. And again, I really do like the little vanilla aftertaste that kind of adds that pleasant little, almost a vanilla sweetness at the end, which I do like. I think that's a nice little finishing touch there. Now, price-wise, you can get this on a monthly-based subscription where you'll get 12 bottles for around $32.30, which isn't that bad. Given the fact that you'd have to say, well, if that's the equivalent of 12 meals right there, you can go to an establishment, you could end up paying for, for one meal that's even only around 400 calories, you could end up paying around $4 or $5, bucks for something that only has that much. You do the math and you'll see that, even though it's $32, you'll still be saving money there if you want to give it a go like that. So, I think it's a very interesting concept. I give them credit on the originality. Having it as a prepackaged, drinkable form, I think that's real interesting. And also, what really took me off guard was the taste of it. I honestly am pleasantly surprised by it. I think it's a extremely interesting concept. The first I've had, as I said, on this show. And I really am surprised, very pleasantly so, by the flavor of the product. I didn't know what to expect when I first, took that sip. I wasn't sure. I've never had a drinkable meal before. I just wasn't sure what it was going to be. But I thought it was actually real pleasant, and I know, Review Boy, keep talking about the vanilla. But I think that's a real strong point that you're going to notice, too. And, I really like it, and I think it's just a great little touch that they added there. And I think it's what really makes it especially pleasant to drink, and, it's something that I could just take another sip from, and, it doesn't bother me any. So I think it's a very interesting product, and therefore, given the price, given the flavor, given the convenience of it, and of course given the idea and originality of it, what am I going to be rating this product, Soylent 2.0, out of 10? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to rate this product, Soylent 2.0, an 8.8 out of 10. Simply due to the fact, again, as all the reasons, aforementioned. It's very creative, very convenient, price is affordable, and the taste is pretty good too. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all that I have for you today. I am your host, Report of the Week, and this is Running on Empty Food Review. Today's review is for Soylent 2.0. More reviews, of course, to follow, and a few VORWs too. And that's all that I have for you. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.